there are several men. The first guy is Hayashi. The next guy is Matt Avent, my instructor, and then Earl Marvin, who's deceased. He's one of my instructors. And then Ray Farrell all the way to the right. He and I are, he's been mentoring us in a lot of things, like he did firearms, we did firearms kind of thing in business particularly, but we've also taken many seminars and classes from him. All three of those guys, my two primary instructors plus Ray Farrell, were trained by a guy named Ron Cherry. So Ron Cherry had a pretty strong and reasonable philosophy on martial arts. Now some of you won't like it when you hear it, because we think that martial arts is the ultimate equalizer. He said if somebody's 6 inches taller than you and 50 pounds heavier than you, you better be ready, because size matters. Does that make sense? All right. That being the case, there are some things that we can do, particularly when it comes to throwing, that I think works well on the larger opponent. Okay? Can I borrow your Brent?
Yes, sir.
So, my physical strength, my ability to pick him up if he's significantly bigger than me, or I'm not as strong as I need to be to lift him, that cancels out a lot of throws. So for example, if I wanted to, he's ready, and I wanted to go in and I wanted to make this kind of approach, but then I wanted to do a suplex. I wanted to lift him up. I mean, it's a lot of work. Number one, I might get tired. Number two, he might counter me, right? It takes time to get him moving. Does that make sense? So the moves that I do typically for a larger opponent that typically work is I make him hold my body weight. Doesn't that make sense? I don't want to lift his body weight. Let's make him hold my body weight. And these are the sacrifice throws. All right? So one of the easiest sacrifice throws that we do, he makes his grip, right, is if I can get control of him in some way and off balance him, I can usually make a throw. All right. So, if I'm able to, in his stance, if I'm able to step, and I have now changed him from this lead foot, now we're equal, and now that's his back foot, doesn't it make sense why I would circle? Now, if his back foot is there, and he was like a tripod, if he had a third leg here, he'd be well balanced. I am technically that third position. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So here, he's strong. I go to pull him, he can resist. Here, we're fairly equal. But once I get that foot back, if I pull him in this direction, it's really hard for him to stop. He's going to take a big step. I want him to take a big step. The circling is part of the break balance. Okay? One step. One step again, step that foot, and then make him fall. Sasae Tsurukomi Ashi. Now, sometimes I miss the foot. I'm going to commit so hard to this pull that once I'm in this position, don't move, don't move. If I pull this far enough, he's going to fall. Does that make sense? So we're just talking about break balance at this point. I've so overbalanced him that he either has to go to a knee or he reaches his max, his hamstrings max out, and then he should fall. Okay? Sasae Tsurukomi Ashi. Hayashi, Taichi Hayashi, the gentleman always left, is the guy that showed me this throw. I move. I might move back. I move. I see what he's going to do. Then once I get to this position, I want to catch this foot to make him fall. I want to pull hard here. Pull, push, set turn. He goes down, I take the top. At no time did I lift his weight, I made him hold my weight. All right. So let's kind of think about that. If I get Brent's balance broken in some way here, how hard is it for him to hold my 180 pounds? Now, here, he can hold me up. See, his posture is strong. His base is good. Here, not so much. So I have to break the first tier of his balance, which is these shoulders. Hopefully that affects the hips. If I do it without the foot, he can take a step, Rebel. I pull. I go. If I miss catching this foot here, and he takes a step, now he's back in his strong position. Does that make sense? So that's what the foot does. Okay? By the numbers. Make a grip.
Make a grip.
Circle out. Circle out. Drop and kick. Watch. Circle out. Drop. Kick. Take the top. Can we do that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Go. Get a partner. If you've got this, I want you to try with somebody slightly bigger, okay? Make sense? Go. We make the grip. By the way, could I possibly do this if we were, I don't know, at the beach and I wanted to make a grip? Could I still do it?
Yes, sir.
Makes sense that we could. I might grab him from behind the tricep instead of by the uniform. The trick is, if he's hot and sweaty, your hand may tend to slip off. Just know that. I mean, that's a legit reality. We're gonna do ankle propping throw this way, right? I still gotta make sure that I get this movement. I gotta get to this, all right? Change the ankle slightly, right? This is where I want that foot. If you go up here, it becomes easy for robot. This is a knee wheel throw. This is ankle propping throw, slightly different technique. Grip here, I'm grabbing the tricep. I pull him in a little bit, right? Step. Step back, see what he does, feel him. I get to here, that foot is now behind. That's when I make this drop. Prop. Hold. Roll. No hands required. Does that make sense? Okay? Dink. You see what I'm doing? Pop. I loosen them up. Good. Move to the top. Make the strike. Pull him up. Finish him off. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Questions on ankle propping throw?
Yes, sir.
Back of the arm, back of the neck. Go. All right. Here's the premise. This is really what we're talking about. This is the premise. How many of you have been walking along, maybe doodling on your phone, maybe you're just talking to your friend, and you go, and you trip? That's what we're doing. I could grab gravity steps, right? Take a big step, pull, right? Dance, dance, pull, and he makes the step. But what if he trips over the curb or the mat? He would fall. Doesn't that make sense? Guess what's tripping him? That's the curb. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. There will be times when maybe you blow the throw. You don't set things up right. He counters. I pull, and he hugs me when I get a little too close. I go here, no problem. I'm gonna go there. Okay? So I go to make this part. Here, he hugs me. No problem. Combination throw. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Hold. He sees Sasae Tsurukomi Ashi coming. He sees the ankle prop. He sees this. He lifts his foot. He's here. I change. I'm in position. I pull, kick, he falls. Makes sense?
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about this throw. Who can do this? Everybody can do this part? Who can turn and get to this bar? Who can load? Who can turn and make this fall? You can do head and arm throw. It's that easy, right? The hard part for some people is where I end up. I go to make ankle propping throw, and I pull, he steps over, and now I'm here. Hold on. I like to throw here. Doesn't that make sense? So what do we have to do different to compensate? I reach. This foot's in place. where should my feet be if I'm throwing typically, right? If I'm a load, both feet inside his feet. Does that make sense? So if I want to make this throw, right foot, left foot, I can load. Where's the center of my balance if I have 2 feet? Right between the feet. Watch what happens. I pull. I go do this and he hugs me. Where's my feet? See how I'm sideways, but my left foot is right between us. I can balance him, he and I on this foot now. Because of where my foot position is up. Okay? All I want you guys to do is this. This part. See how my feet are comfortable stance between his feet. I pull here. I hug here. I don't want him to escape me. I don't have to do a whole bunch of happy feet. Okay, watch. Lean. Foot comes up. Am I kicking low? Am I kicking way up here? I'm cutting him right about at the thigh level, just below the hip. I pull him just up enough. I kick just hard enough that he wraps himself around my leg. Reaping, quick throw. Give it a try. So I just got through saying that this is what I do with the bigger guys. Right? What did I say I do? What type of throw? What category of throws? Sacrifice throws. Does this look like a sacrifice throw?
No.
It's become a bailout. You're with a big guy, you're gonna make this throw, he lifts and he hugs, you gotta be able to bail out. What did I say I do to a bigger guy? I make him hold my weight. Right? I like this one. It works for me. But I've already got him here. All I gotta do is off balance him. He's gonna not move but let go with his grip. Good base, good balance. Not good base, good balance. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
I'll fit back in, right? I go to make ankle propping throw. He hugs me. I'm here. I want to break his balance. When I break his balance, I want to drop my weight. My knee needs to shoot a little bit past his toe. I don't have to move a lot, but I want to do this. And I drop into him. Okay? And I crank him. Can we do it?
Sir.
All right. Any questions on that? Okay. So, he makes defense. Here, one option. Option number 2 is the knee goes here. Okay? I almost got overbalanced. He almost was able to roll me over. Be careful of that. Make sense? Try doing the head and arm drag down. Guy's bigger than you, make him hold your weight. You're in essence going to bend him like this and say, all right, Caleb, don't let me fall. You got to hold me up. Right? You're making him hold your weight. Head and arm throw to the knee. Can we do it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so talk about the strength factor again, right? I know Brent can pick me up. He's gorilla strong, which is super cool. It's great to have good training partners who could easily just pick me up. I go to make Sasae Tsurukomi Ashi, right? I make my move and he moves into hug, right? So I move here and do this and this, and he got me. He lifts me up. And now he body slams me and it's easy for him. So how much time do I have to make my counter throw?
Like half a second, quarter second.
Not a whole lot. Now, we're not going to challenge Brent to see if he can pick me up before I can throw him because he knows it's coming. I need the element of surprise to really make this work. By the way, if I told him that, he'd base out, he'd pick me up, and he'd slam me. I think he could do that because he knows what to do. He knows what to expect. He's got a strength advantage and a, by the way, who's got the position advantage here? Brent does. Right? Now, I'm in the position to make my throw, right? We agree he can pick me up. Go ahead and pick me up one time. Right? Now watch. Pick me up. Do You see how I've broken his balance and I've made him hold my weight. So I can lift with posture this way. I do it all the time. If I got to lift like this, it's way hard. So I got to understand his body. I make the pull. I go here, he hops over, he grabs, I drop. All right? Did I catch him by surprise? You think in his mind he was ready? Maybe he was ready, maybe not. Right? Thank you, Grant. You're the best. All right. We will throw. We will make a throw fight. We don't need to work ground today. Your favorite throw. Make your throw. If you can't make your throw, I'm just going to keep swapping until you make a throw with somebody close in size, okay? We'll give you about 30 seconds to a minute. Why 30 seconds? Don't you need more time to make a throw? How much time do we need for a throw?
30 seconds.
If you're not making an attempt on a throw within the first 2 seconds, you're defending. It's all. You're in there. You're making the grab. You're going to, I got to make my favorite throw. Here we go, right? Grip, grip, throw. And you drive, okay? Make sense?
Sir.
Get a partner. We must